I taught my dog to talk, and it saved my daughter's life. I taught my golden retriever Brady to talk using these buttons you can buy online. You press a button, and it says the word out loud. Brady has about 17 words like walk, food, water, and outside. The system sounds weird, but Brady actually uses it to tell us what he needs, instead of just barking at us like an idiot. When my daughter Leah and her boyfriend Jeremy moved back home after college, I noticed that Brady started saying weird things around Jeremy. What happened to your arm? I asked one morning when I found Leah in the kitchen. She had a bruise the size of a baseball on her forearm. She yanked her sleeve down. I told you I'm clumsy. Brady walked over to his button board and pressed ouch and help. See, even Brady knows I'm a disaster, Leah said as she left the room. She really has always been accident prone, so I didn't think anything of it. Then Brady started pressing ouch and no every time Jeremy walked into a room while staring at Leah. We thought maybe he was jealous. That dog really doesn't like me, Jeremy said once, laughing. The next week I heard Jeremy through their bedroom door. You're the dumbest person I've ever met. I genuinely don't understand how you graduated college. My wife grabbed my arm in the hallway. We stood there listening to Leah apologize over and over. We need to talk to her, my wife whispered. When we tried, Leah defended him every time. He was just venting. He's under a lot of stress at work. I thought maybe we were overreacting, so we let it go. The following Sunday, Leah wore a thick sweater in summer. Jeremy came down and kissed her head. Isn't she adorable all bundled up like that? He squeezed her shoulder hard and she winced but smiled. Brady pressed ouch, no, and help. That dog needs therapy, Jeremy said. Things got really weird when my parents came over for dinner and Leah came downstairs wearing a turtleneck. Jeremy started doing his charming routine with my mom. When my dad asked him about work, he said, just closed a huge deal actually. Babe, grab me a beer. He snapped his fingers at Leah without looking at her. She flinched and got up. Brady had been lying under the table, but he suddenly stood. He walked over to his button board in the corner of the dining room. The buttons started playing out loud. Ouch, no, help. He walked back to the table and sat right next to Leah, staring up at her face. What's with the buttons? My brother asked. I taught Brady to communicate with them, I said. Each button says a different word when he presses it. So the dog just said ouch, no, help, my mom asked. What does that mean? That dog is genuinely mentally ill, Jeremy said. He does this constantly. They really need to put him down or something. Brady walked back to the buttons. Ouch, help, no. Then he did something he had never done before. He pressed a button, walked back to Leah, pressed his nose against her arm, then walked back and pressed another button. Ouch, help. He kept going back and forth between the buttons and Leah and pointing at her with his nose, making the connection impossible to miss. My wife stared at Leah's covered arms. Leah, my wife said quietly, what is Brady trying to tell us? Leah started crying. Jeremy stood up fast and his chair fell backward. This is ridiculous. You're going to listen to a dumb dog? He turned to Leah. Tell them you're fine or we're done, right now. Brady kept pressing the buttons. Ouch, help. Leah pulled down her turtleneck and there were bruises covering her neck in the shape of hands. She rolled up her sleeves and showed us more bruises in different stages of healing that ran up both arms. He's been hurting me for months, she whispered. Brady kept trying to tell you, but I kept making excuses. Everything suddenly made perfect sense. Jeremy tried to leave, but my brother blocked him while my dad called the police. You're all insane. That dog is a liar and you're pathetic for believing it. He turned to Leah. You're going to regret this so badly. Nobody else will ever want you. Brady pressed no, 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 and stood between Jeremy and Leah growling. The police arrested Jeremy right there in our dining room. After everyone left, Leah sat on the floor holding Brady. I'm so sorry I didn't listen to you, she said. Brady licked her face and pressed buttons. Love, yes.